Hey, what's up? So in this video, we'll be using factory boy and faker to create fake data and populate our users table. And in the next videos, we will be continuing to other tables. And the thing that, or why we are doing this, because faking data will be very useful when you're actually testing and when we're actually demoing this API or this website that we actually did. So, and sometimes it's actually useful in unit tests. So in fact, you will like fake some data and do some unit test on your functionality with that data. So yeah, in this video, I'll just show you that. So first thing, let's activate our virtual environment like usual. Scripts activate. Now let's actually install after you do this. So python -m pip install. You need to install faker like this, and you can install multiple packages. Just add space, then the name of the other one, and if you go here, it will be called factory_boy. Do this and they will be installed. Now after this, let's actually Python, let's freeze our requirements. So if you freeze them here, they will be just displayed. So this is a standard output. Just pipe it to the requirement.txt file, and this output will be inserted here, and that's it. So yeah. Okay. So now to start, I will actually show you the documentation. So Django commands docs. Writing custom Django command. I will put link in the description, but basically you will go to one of your apps and just create a management folder. Inside that management folder, create a commands folder. Everything inside that commands folder will be available as a Django custom command. So you can say Python manage and just the name of the file, and that's it. So in this example, we have the Pulse app. Inside of it, management commands, we have this close pol.py. You will just type python manage.py, then space close pol, and that's it. This will be run as a Django command. And this is actually like underscore, it's called underscore private. And if you remember, each file inside our commands will be actually registered as a Django command, expect or unless it starts with underscore. So this underscore is not a Django command. So maybe here you will add some functionality, and here you will add the actual Django command. It's as simple as that. And yeah, let's actually start. So I'm gonna put it in the common because it's gonna like use the factory boy to generate data for every model we have. So I think it makes sense to put it here. And what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna follow the documentation, and that's it. So management, and inside of it, create the commands. And of course, we need our init.py here, and also here was just empty file. Now here I'm gonna, let me see what I named it in my original code. Yeah, I will just name it seed. I think in Laravel it's the same or the same name when you try to seeds and factories, when you try to populate your data with fake data. So from django.core.management.base import base command, and let's actually create a class called command. I will just name it command. I don't think it matters. You will actually just give it the name of the file and it will run it. The name of the class does not matter. Or I think it should always be named command. Yeah, sorry, it should always be named command. Yeah, so now this will access the base command. So this is the help. When you type help, this will be shown. So I will say, or just copy paste this. Oops, 1 second. Generate fake data and see the models with them. Default are 10. So by default, it will generate 10 instances and save them. And the function that will be called is this handle, and this is like the entry point for this command. This is the same, the first method it will be called. So self, now args, These will be the options. These are the flags that you will pass, and I will show you in a second how. So amount will be equal to options.get amount. And how we can get amount, and by default it will be 10, we can define another function here called add arguments. And this will accept self and parser. So if we type parser.add argument, this will allows us to accept like command line arguments, and I'm gonna call this argument amount. Okay, and I will put something called an argument to plus, and type will be equal to integer. So this means I am accepting, I'm just showing you an examples, I'm accepting an array of integers. Let's actually try to run this, and let's print the amount. So Python manage seed, and it will throw an error because by default, if you define your arguments like this, these are required, and they are positional arguments. So the first one you pass will be the amount. So this is the amount. As you can see, we have an array containing 1. Now if I type this, like comma, 5, comma, and this will be an array of these, or should be an array of these. Maybe I did something wrong. I think I will, yeah, let me just remove this. As you can see, now we have an array of all of these. You should loop over them and convert them. Or I think, no. Let's add a question mark. Yeah, that's it. Maybe now type int. No. I'm not quite sure. This is actually built in Python. Let me show you the docs. It's actually, this is all the options that you can add and how you can use them. I mean, in our case, I'm just gonna show you that. I will put a link here if you wanna deep dive or customize this. I will have an optional argument, which means add like 2 dashes like this, and I will remove this. This is actually have some meaning. So plus will be converted to array, I think, and stuff like this. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Now the type of this argument will be integer. Now the help text will be the amount of fake data you want. And let's now actually run Python manage. Now see -- help. You'll see one of the flags are called amount, and this is the help, the amount of fake data you want. This is the same string we typed here. I'm just gonna use single quotes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we have the amount. We just need to create 10 fake users, and that's why we actually installed Faker and Factory Boy. Let's go to the user, and I'm gonna create like a file called factories, and this will be the same pattern I will do in each model. Yeah, and you can do this if you are doing unit test or just testing your app. So from factory.django import the Django model factory, and Factory Boy actually works with many ORMs. One of them is Django, and I believe also SQL Alchemy, and you can use it on its own. And from factory .faker import Faker. So they have like, you need to install Faker, but you will import it from the Factory Boy package. Okay, but you need to install it. Also from factory, I'm gonna import the sequence class, the post generation method call, and the sequence decorator. I'm gonna show you what we will do with these in a second. So class user factory, like this. This will extend obviously from the Django model factory. Now first name, or let me actually show you what the fields that we need to populate, or how you can get them. So let's actually open the models on the right, like this. I'll close, and let's actually go to the abstract users. So first thing we need to get, for example, the first name. This will be equal to Faker, and just give it first name. This is the name of the method that Faker uses. You can actually just type here, for example, you will see. So anything exists here, you can just pass it as a string. So we have first name underscore male, female, or just first one, first name. I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, I'll put link in the description for this link. Now the second one is the last name, and they also have something that will generate last names for us. And for email, we have just email, and username should be unique, right? If you remember, it's actually said that here. So unique should be true. And if you think about it, the simplest way to fix this is just to say, hey, this is username 1, username 2, username 3, and keep going on. And if you use actually these stuff, there's a chance that this will actually throw an error by, I mean, this could generate the same name, right? So it could throw an error. I'll show you how we can fix all of these and do some like some customized stuff, okay? So this will be equal to a sequence. So the first user should be, for example, like this. So f string user dash the number of the user, okay? Now password will be the post generation method call. I will show you the errors. I'll show you how you can fix them and everything. Just bear with me. So this will actually call a method by the name. So set password. If you remember, we actually used this here in the serializer. So it will call this method from a model that this class will represent. And if you think about it, we will add this in the meta. So model will be equal. We can actually import the user and just put here user model, or this is the way that I usually prefer it. If the library allows you to add a string that represents a path to the model, just add that to avoid like circular dependencies in the future. So I'm gonna do this. This equivalent to user.models.user like this. This is a shortcut. So what this means now, I will call the setPassword method on the user instance that I am trying to create. And what should I pass to it? Just add comma and give it, this is the password. So secret, like this. So this is the password for all the users and they will be hashed, which is very nice. So I think this should be enough. Let me show you a package that will add some style. I think it's called, let me just double check, hello for Python. So this is like a spinner you can add in the command line. It looks much better in Linux or Mac. So yeah, you need to do this. So instead install hello. So Python pip install hello. Okay, now let's go to the seed command. So from hello import hello. You can actually see how you can use it. I'm gonna use this decorator. I think it's the simplest way. So at hello, and I will give it text generating, and spinner would be equal to dots color. I will put a link in the description. There is a lot of options, so I'm just gonna show you these. Now text color will be equal also to blue. So when this method ends, this spinner will be removed or done. And we have the amount. So let's actually create a method that will generate the users. So generate users. And you know, in classes in Python, we don't have private methods. So this is like a convention between developers. If a name of a method starts with underscore, this is a private. So self amount, we can actually add here integer like this. So for I in range amount, I'm gonna call this. So this actually imported. So from users factories import user factory, and I'm just gonna call it. And this will actually create an instance of the user model and save it in the database. And let's call it here. So self dot generate users and pass to it the amount. So let's actually try it. So seed, and let's give it amount like this. So if this is an optional, you need to specify the name. So dash dash amount, and if you didn't specify it, it will be 10, as you can see from here. But if I will specify it and just give it 1. You can see this, right? Yeah, I'm just double checking. So it should be working fine. Let's actually open our dbeaver and check the database. Um, so the user, we should have a couple of, yeah, it's only one. And as you can see, let me increase the font. This is the user that we have. Everything looks fine. Let's actually try to log in with this user. So Python manage run server, just to show you that we can actually use them in a good way. So let's actually here add email, and all the passwords will be secret. So post, oops, I think I did not copy it, or I actually have it, right? So add this, and the password should be the same one we added here. Let me just copy paste. I think there's something not right. Oh yeah, I know it's right. I have the same code running on the same port in another tab. My bad. So I actually stopped it from there, and let's actually try, because I have, if you look here, I have two tables, two databases. So yeah, anyway. Oops, you can't actually see. Sorry. But yeah, I was actually just trying to send the user, and this user here. Let me just minimize. My bad, sorry. Man. Okay. So now secret. As you can see, now we actually logged in. Yeah, so let's just continue. Sorry about that. So let's actually try to generate 10 users. We will see some errors. Let's actually go here and refresh, because the error happened because by default the sequence will start from 0, and we already have 0 in the database, user dash 0. So to fix this, the simplest way is to add this, let me just grab it, Django get or create, and give it a list of the name of the fields that you want to like tell factory boy, hey, if you are trying to save data with this that already exists, skip it. If this data does not exist, add it. So I will add the username here. So if this username exists, don't save this data. If it exists, save it. If it exists, don't save it. If it does not exist, don't save it. So now this should actually work with no errors. Let's actually refresh, and as you can see, we have 10 users from index 0 to 9. But what will happen if I try to run it again? As you can see, as you can remember, the sequence starts from 0 to 9, and we already have them, so no errors will be thrown, and no new users we will have, and we won't have any new users, as you can see. Now to fix this, you could actually like add a multiple of faker like methods here, but there is an actually better way, and I think this is the way that you might want to do it. So this is why I imported the sequence decorator. So let's actually comment this out and create a method with the same name and decorate it with the sequence decorator. So username, this is the sequence starting from 0. Let's actually get the maximum ID we have in the database. So max underscore ID, and let me import from the current directory models, import the user. Let's actually put user.objects.latest. Latest on what? Based on what? Based on the ID. Give me the latest ID we have. ID. Give me the latest user we have based on the ID. Then I will access the ID for that user. And now let's return an f string user dash the max ID plus 1. And this will actually always give us 10 unique usernames based on the last ID we have. So we can actually keep doing this and keep doing this, and no errors will be thrown, which is very nice. As you can see, we have them 40 users. Now if I do it again, give it like 4, we should see, let me refresh, to 44. So yeah, it's very nice. But something to actually like note, in my opinion, this is not the best way to populate your data, but I think for testing purposes it's fine, because if you think about it, I am executing a query for each I mean, I said the amount is 10, so I'm executing 10 queries. If you think about it, this is not good. In SQL, I can actually write a bulk SQL insert. It could actually, I think I could show you. By the way, the video, I believe the video is done now. You can leave, but I'm just gonna say my thoughts now. I can generate an insert query. I'm gonna grab it. This actually open SQL editor. So this query, you can see it, I think. Yeah, this is much better. So as you can see, I'm inserting into these records these values, and in SQL I can do this. So I can insert many values into the same table at the same time. One query, one connection, save as much as you want data, close the connection, and that's it. Here we are actually like looping and storing user for each iteration that we have. So we are running 10 queries instead of one. This is something that you should always remember when writing ORMs. I mean, and always ask yourself, does this good when I scale this, or when scaling, or when the data becomes large? Because when writing ORMs, we usually forget that at the end this will be converted to this syntax. So for these, because this is for just for testing, for populating a small amount of data, I will leave it like this. But when you see me like write actual endpoints, I won't do this. I will just write a complex SQL queries with the Django-rm to fetch the data we want from the database with a single query, not multiple queries. This will scale much more better, in my opinion. Yeah, I think this is it. Now in the second videos, we will start populating data with factory boy with respect of the relations we define. So each user can have many posts and stuff like that. Yeah, but this is basically it. Bye bye. I hope this was useful.